Game week is here, y'all. It's finally here. We got the Giants taking on the Vikings in the week 1 matchup Sunday at 1 p.m. And listen, man, we got a lot of good things going on this channel. Make sure you tune in Saturday night. We got a live stream with Vocal Vike. First time bringing somebody on the channel, another content creator from another team, and we're looking to preview that matchup. We're also going to be going live tomorrow night. Just a little hangout. It's called Lock In Live. We're going to lock in talking about week 1 matchup. And then also Sunday night, I'm going to be live streaming after the game. Whether it's a win or a loss, we're going to be here to talk about it. And I think the Giants have a great chance of winning. That's what we're here for, man. We're going to be talking about the 3 key matchups in this preview to get this W, man. So first off, the first thing we want to touch on is, the biggest elephant in the room when it comes to this Vikings team is Justin Jefferson. And the first matchup I want to look at is Deonte Banks versus Justin Jefferson. Now, Deonte Banks, if you don't know who he is a second-year corner. Last year was his rookie year, and he had his name called a lot. He did get picked on a lot as well. He struggled at times, but also showed, strides and progressions last year. But once again, man, being in this matchup against Justin Jefferson is unlike any other, man. I think Justin Jefferson, I'm giving him all his respect. He's the best wide receiver in the league, and I don't expect Deonte Banks to have him locked up one-on-one all game. I definitely do not expect that. You better be bracket coveraging Justin Jefferson. And the Giants had success at this before. Now, it was under Wink Martindale in that playoff game against the Vikings a couple years ago. As we know as Giants fans, that playoff game is always going to be saved in the archives for us, but especially looking at what we did on the defensive side of the ball when it came to Justin Jefferson. He was extremely limited, but in coverage with Adoree Jackson. Now, Adoree Jackson is back. I don't expect him to play too much because he just got picked up last week. So Deonte Banks is going to be a featured role in this game. And Justin Jefferson, once again, man, he's a wide receiver 1 across the league in general. You're going to need to double cover this guy. And if there's any chance at beating this team, you're going to have to limit his touches any type of way. Now, sometimes you kind of have to tip your cap over to the player. If he gets 100 yards and a couple of catches, I'll let it be, but you can't let him beat us in the end zone. That's the biggest thing. Now, when you look at the match, and we're going to be talking about Sam Darnold soon, with Sam Darnold behind the center, listen, he's going to be targeting Justin Jefferson a lot because who wouldn't? I expect, them to feature their star player pretty often. We need to make sure we're limiting that as much as possible. Deonte Banks has to step in. And he had some good run-ins last year against guys like Terry McLaurin and other wide receivers, featured wide receivers. But with this being the first test as him being our cornerback 1, meaning that we don't really have other DBs to really lean on. If Deonte Banks is getting picked on, we don't really have anywhere else to go. So he's going to have to stand up for himself and hopefully lock things down and make it hard for Justin Jefferson. That's the only thing. Once again, this guy is extremely talented. I'm not expecting Jefferson to be held to less than 50 yards. I'd be a fool if I'm telling you guys that. But I do expect at least to make it tough for Justin Jefferson. Keep him out of the end zone. That's all I can ask. Keep him out of the end zone. Keep everything in front of you. And hopefully the Giants can secure that spot. Now, the second key matchup I want to talk about when it refers to the Giants specifically is this offensive line. Now, this offensive line, as you know, last year was the worst in the NFL, almost in NFL history, the worst we've seen in almost 50 years. So this Giants offense has a lot, contingent on with this offensive line, keeping them upright and hopefully, being better than they were last year. Now, we did have new additions to this squad, and that's what people have to remember. We added some new guys, so hopefully they're going to act a little bit better. We got Illuminor out there, right tackle. No more Evan Neal. Evan Neal is not a right tackle currently at this juncture. You're going to have John Runyon Jr. out there, Greg Van Roten, and John Michael Schmitz out there as a center. Listen, when you compare that to last year was a revolving door. As we know, Andrew Thomas got hurt last year, and that also led to the offensive line being pretty bad. When you have a bad left tackle, it's really hard to make it in this league. It made the offense a lot harder to run in general. So hopefully heading into this, everyone's healthy. Hopefully everyone escapes healthy, but I need them to have a good showing against this Vikings D-line. They do have a couple of good edge rushers and a couple of good, players on that defense in general. When you look at what they lost Daniil Hunter, but then they also got Grenard from the Texans last year, which he was a featured pass rusher. So definitely you want to make sure that we got everything on lock on the outer edges. And that's where the confidence in this offensive line, I believe, starts. When you look at Andrew Thomas, we know Andrew Thomas is a top 3 left tackle in this league. And then you look at Illuminor at right tackle. You just have to be solid. At least right tackle is the face for the quarterback, so nothing blindsided. Nothing's going to be able to, where he doesn't see what's happening in front of him. DJ's going to have to stay upright, and hopefully he hangs in the pocket and delivers strikes. Now, John Michael Schmitz, he did struggle a bit last year. So hopefully he makes some strides there. John Runyon Jr. should be an upgrade over guys that we had like Marcus McKeithen and other guys like Ben Bredesen. Looking at it with Greg Van Roten as well, just be solid. He's always been solid in the pass blocking game. It's about the run blocking as well. But what I'm looking at is keeping our quarterback upright. We can't win a game if our quarterback's getting sacked 8 times in a game. And 8 times sounds ridiculous, but there was times last year where our quarterback was getting hit literally that much. So hopefully this offensive line stands tall. I think they have a good shot at it. It's a good test with the Vikings defense, and especially with Brian Flores on that side. There's going to be a lot of blitzes. There's going to be exotic coverages that's going in place. Hopefully the offensive line, continues to cohesively grow together and also just pass off that communication. Now, the last matchup we want to talk about, where this is where you win all your marbles, right? The quarterback position. Daniel Jones versus Sam Darnold. Now, people are going to look at this game and feel like it's the battle of the mids, battle of the mid quarterback. And listen, as we know, Daniel Jones has been up and down his whole career. At times we felt good. At times we felt bad. Probably majority would say we felt bad about Daniel Jones. But what I can almost 100% argue, Sam Darnold is not a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. And people that think so is only because you haven't seen Sam Darnold on the field in a little while. Let's run through where Sam Darnold has been. Drafted to the Jets, played 3 years over there, got ran out of his team, went to the Panthers for 2 years, lost his starting job to Baker Mayfield, couldn't play in Carolina, went to the 49ers as his backup, and you kind of didn't see Sam Darnold at all. He stepped in at certain times. He had 2 touchdowns and 1 interception under the 49ers, but he was not the starting quarterback. He was coming in when Brock Purdy wasn't, and especially in those last couple games. So just remind everyone, Sam Darnold is not a world beater. Sam Darnold is not a quarterback that's been starting these past couple years. I think everyone forgets who Sam Darnold is. I refuse to believe that Sam Darnold is better than Daniel Jones, and that's not to say if the Vikings win Sunday, it's because of Sam Darnold. That's why I genuinely believe the Giants defense and this Giants team cannot let Sam Darnold beat them. They can't let this happen. I'm going to give all the credit to Kevin O'Connell. Kevin O'Connell's a good offensive coordinator in this league, a good head coach, and he puts their quarterbacks in the best position to play. You saw it last year with a couple different quarterbacks that were at the helm after Kirk Cousins went down, Nick Mullins, the astronaut quarterback, I can't remember his name at the moment, Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs was a whole storyline in itself, but he won a couple games out there in Minnesota as well. I think the Giants would love to see Sam Darnold, throw 40 times in a game. I think they would love to see that because I refuse to believe Sam Darnold's that good. I'm going to be honest with you guys. And Daniel Jones, just don't turn over the ball. That's the biggest thing I can hang my hat on. Do not turn over the ball. Brian Daboll announced that he's calling the plays. I have trust in Brian Daboll. We don't have a good track record with him calling plays for the Giants because he hasn't really come up front saying that he will. Daniel Jones, if you're on this team and you're listening to this video, man, you need to make sure you're just controlling the ball, not giving the other team the opportunities to really just beat us. Throwing interceptions left and right, fumbling the ball. We need to make sure that we're keeping the ball in our hands. And we've been preaching this since he's been a rookie. We're going on year 6. It sounds repetitive. It sounds crazy. But all in all, man, I just hope that, as he's coming back from his ACL injury, as he's coming out to playing football in general, Daniel Jones needs to knock off all that rust, that preseason game. We saw what it was with the Texans. That's behind us now. Let's focus on keeping the ball security well, and trusting your guys. You got Malik Neighbors for a reason. You still got Darius Slayton out there. Wan'Dale Robinson is a guy that's going to get open for you. We just need to be smart with the ball, but also trust our guys and give them the chance to win. Malik Neighbors is his first game. I'm not going to set the expectations for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, but I do have a good feeling that Malik Neighbors is going to get in the end zone. I do this week 1 matchup. I think Brian Daboll knows what he has in Malik Neighbors, and whether it be jet sweeps, whether it be crosses, whether it be deep post corner routes, you're going to see Malik Neighbors get tried out there, and we're going to see if that defense can stand tall to it, man. And I'm excited for the run game, but that's another topic, man. That's going to be these 3 key matchups for this preview, man. If you guys are excited, and if you got any thoughts on this, man, make sure you put it down below in the comments, man. I'll be looking forward to it. Once again, we'll be live tomorrow night, Saturday night with Vocal Vike, and Sunday night after the game, man. I'm excited. Giants football is back, and I'm just excited to be able to talk about it with you guys, man. So make sure you stay tuned for new content that's coming through, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.